let's talk about trauma and how that affects fibroids, okay? Because in case you guys don't know, studies actually showed this as well. Women that have fibroids tend to be women who've dealt with heavy amounts of trauma, whether that's from childhood, early adulthood, during your adolescent years. It tends to be women that has dealt with heavy amounts of trauma. And I've talked about that before many times on my platform. And because remember, these reproductive health issues don't just have physical root causes, right? Also emotional root causes. And when people tend to have trauma, they tend to hold it inside the body. They tend to hold on to it like in the body instead of actually processing through it and releasing it, okay? So the issue is not the actual trauma. It's not the actual emotions, right? Because when you really look at it, and I always say this as well, women tend to develop fibroids after women tend to be diagnosed, with fibroids after an extremely stressful event. It could be after a divorce. It could be after you were fighting for custody of your children, right after that period. It could be after a death in the family. It could be, after lots of issues with your family. It tends to be after a very stressful event or stressful period, okay? And women tend to think, and then I always get the question, well, do I have fibroids just because of stress? If the stress by itself cause fibroids? Not on its own. Trauma and stress on its own don't cause the fibroids. What causes the fibroids is how you handle that trauma. Because realistically, everybody has trauma. Everybody, okay? And when I talk about trauma and how it's related to fibroids, women tend to list all the traumas they've been through, or just what they're going through, or what they have been through. I went through this, It's not about what you went through. It's about how you handle what you went through, okay? So if you've had trauma, how have you processed that? How have you released that? Because everybody has trauma, okay? So instead of focusing so much on what you experienced, what you went through, right? Because I never talk about everything I've been through a lot, okay? Lifetimes of trauma, right? It feels like. But it's not about that per se. It's about how you process it, how you deal with it, right? Whether that's through therapy, whether that's through you actually feeling those emotions and being able to release them, right? A lot of people don't want to do that. And this is when they start going to toxic habits like the overeating, emotional eating, right? Drinking, like other smoking, different toxic habits to have them turn away from that trauma, to have them suppress that trauma. But guess what? The body always keeps score. So it's still there. You can run away from it all you want to. It's still there. You are responsible for processing through that trauma, for feeling it, and for releasing it as well. Because you cannot hold in negative emotions in the body. They turn into tumors. They turn into cysts. They turn into heavy bleeding. You cannot continue to hold on to, these heavy negative emotions in the body. You can't, that will keep you sick. That will keep you sick, okay? So understand, it's not about you going through the trauma. It's about how you handle it. It's about how you handle it afterwards. It's about you, if you're still holding on to it, this is when you're going to experience the fibroids, the heavy bleeding, the symptoms, right? It's not just a physical aspect of fibroids. Everything is connected. Because it's because of our traumas that we tend to indulge in bad habits that actually go against us. It's because of our trauma that we tend to lack self-care and not take care of our bodies, not take care of ourselves, okay? When you really look at the root of it. So everything's really connected, and you have to catch that. You have to be powerfully self-aware. And this is the beauty of womb healing. It helps you become self-aware, right? This is how it shifts you also into the best version of yourself. Because listen, if you're still holding on to what happened to you in childhood, what happened to you even, a couple years ago, if you're still holding that will stop you from healing, okay? That will stop you from being able to dissolve the fibroids and become fibroid free, and to become free of hormonal imbalances, you holding on to those negative emotions in the body. And that is why my Detoxify Your Womb program is so powerfully successful. That is why my clients get massive results, because we don't just address the physical root causes, we also address the emotional root causes, so that my clients are able to feel lighter physically and emotionally, right? They're not holding on to all of that stuff. It's so important on this journey to connect both, because we are connected. And when we have these when we have all of these issues with the womb, it is tied to how we've been treating our bodies, right? So it's important that you understand this on a deeper level, and not even just how we've been treating our bodies, physically, also with our mindset, right? Also emotionally as well, right? So these habits trickle, these emotional things that we're holding on to trickle down into our daily habits and how we take care of ourselves, whether we're aware of it or not. Okay, so if you want to learn more about our most amazing program, our exclusive program where we help women get rid of fibroids, get rid of endometriosis, adenomyosis, get pregnant naturally. If you are interested in learning more, be sure to click the link in my bio for more information. Okay, have a great one.